We have a lot of interesting things to discuss today. We're going to talk about Bitcoin dumping. We're going to also talk about the FOMC meeting, which came out at no change. And very importantly, every time we had a meeting, we dumped tremendously afterwards. We're also going to talk about oil, of course, because oil has reached new highs. And without further ado, let's get started. Bitcoin is, of course, breaking down from this major support line here on the 4-hourly, which we've been going up with the last couple of days. And now we're seeing a rejection, a breakthrough, and this might finally be the starting point of us going further down. If I look at Bitcoin here on the 4-hourly and I zoom in a bit, I can see that we've been clearly rejected from this major line of resistance, which we had previously found support in just a few days ago. Now we're going down. This is strong support that we are going further down as the bulls were not able to break through from here. If you look at the liquidation heat map, however, we can see that we still have a lot of liquidations above us between around about the $80,000 to the $81,000 region. We know that usually Bitcoin follows liquidity, meaning Bitcoin always tries to go to these areas where people get liquidated. And the liquidation zones being still there above us indicates that we might go a bit higher before going down. Of course, right now it looks like we're going down, but you never know with Bitcoin. It can surprise you anytime, and I would not be surprised if we go a bit higher. Keep this in mind before eventually, in my opinion, we go further down over the next few months, as of course we are still in a bear market. Now, if I look at Bitcoin here on the daily, I can also see that we have hit crucial resistance here on the top side, and we started to go down. If I also look at the RSI is right here. I can see that we have a divergence. You can see the RSI is going down while Bitcoin was going up. We have a RSI divergence, meaning that usually Bitcoin follows the relative strength index chart, and it's going down right now. So Bitcoin is starting to follow it. We had the divergence beforehand, and now finally Bitcoin is going down as predicted, of course. Next thing to talk about is the FOMC meeting, which we just had today, and it is the last meeting of Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, who's been in power for the last two times, right? So he's been there for 8 years now. And of course, they decided not to change the interest rates, remaining with a target of 3.5 to 3.75%. Of course, right now we have high oil prices, inflation is high, and if inflation is high, interest rates will not be dropped. The interest rates will be dropped if we manage to keep inflation intact. Dropping interest rates is very good for the markets, and Bitcoin will go up, the S&P 500 will go up, as getting access to money becomes cheaper through lower interest rates, and this is only possible if inflation is also intact. Inflation being high right now, there's no reason to lower interest rates. Let's see what the new federal chairman Walsh does when he steps into office very soon. Now, I want to highlight this for you guys. The last 8 FOMC meetings, we had a dump right after the meeting. And this can be seen here on the chart. We had a dump every single time. So I would not be surprised if right now, after the meeting, over the next couple of days, we will see a slight correction. And as we can see, the correction has pretty much already started anyways. We can see it right here. Another thing to note is that, this is interesting, I don't think it will happen necessarily, but every time we had a new chairman come into office, we had a major dump for Bitcoin. Look at this, the first time here, 2014, Janet Yellen came into office and we had an 83% correction in Bitcoin. Then when Jerome Powell came into office the first time, we had a 73% correction. Second time, in 2022, we had a 60% correction. And now, when Walsh comes into office, Kevin Walsh, there will potentially be a 50% correction. Let's see. But let me tell you guys why I think this chart is complete nonsense. I've seen many influencers talk about this chart specifically recently, warning us that Bitcoin will go to $36,000, for example. Well, what I noticed first of all is that every time we had a new federal chairman come into office, we are in a bear market. And right now, of course, we're in the middle of a bear market again. And what do we know about bear markets? Well, the price goes down in bear markets. So it is not fair to assume that the price movement downwards is solely because of the new federal chair. It is most likely, and I'm certain it is because we're in a bear market. So the 73% correction is because we measure it until the bottom of the bear market, of course. And the reason it becomes less every time is because Bitcoin becomes less volatile every time. So I don't think we're going to go down 50%. I think we're going to go down to 50,000 potentially in September or October of this year, because Bitcoin, and this is important to note, always goes down, at least the last few times, the last cycles, for 364 days from the top of the bull market to the bottom of the bear market. This will bring us to around October of this year, which I think is a much more realistic target. Now, next thing to talk about is the May 4th catastrophe. Every time on May 4th, 2018, 2022, and now potentially also in 2026, Bitcoin has seen a massive correction right after May 4th. Look at this, 2018, Bitcoin has seen a top on May 4th, gone down. Keep in mind, this is in the middle of the bear market. 2022, Bitcoin saw a local high and then went down. 2026, right now, I think it can happen again. Why not? Looks like we're going down anyways. Bitcoin is seeing local rejections here as being rejected. So I would not be surprised if Bitcoin actually continues to go down from here and follows this path. Next thing to talk about is very important. It's oil. Look, for oil is actually gone up massively. US oil prices extend gains to $105 per barrel as President Trump prepares to extend the US blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. It has first gone to 105, it has now corrected a bit, but it has also reached $119.5, marking a new highest level since the Iran war has started. Of course, we know that higher oil prices means higher inflation. Higher inflation means that interest rates will not be reduced anytime soon. Interest rates can only be reduced if the Federal Reserve does its job properly, if inflation is low. Because lower interest rates means higher inflation, as we can borrow more money more easily. And therefore, I don't think assets and Bitcoin will go up anytime soon. And of course, we're in the middle of a bear market. Keep that in mind. Final thing to note, and I've drawn it out here already. Let me just remove all the drawings. Is that right now, if you look at Bitcoin on the weekly and we look at the bull and bear market support bands, we can see that we are being rejected here right now from the bull and bear market support bands. And what happens usually in a bear market is that we stay below these support bands. We bounce from below. Let's go back. Look, last time we were below the bull and bear market support bands, right here we went below, we entered the bear market. We stayed below it until, of course, we did not, which is when we entered the bull market. And in a bull market, we stay above, we bounce above the bull and bear market support bands. And that's why they're called the bull and bear market support bands, because if Bitcoin is above them, we're in a bull market. If Bitcoin is below them and we go below right here, we're in a bear market. So as long as we are below, and we are right now below, we are in, of course, a bear market. And final thing to note, and I just want to highlight, if you haven't yet followed me on Twitter, I just started here posting Twitter at IboCRC, just a dude who talks crypto, that's me. So if you won't follow me, I will post the same content that I am also talking about in the videos here on Twitter. Same things I talked about today, I just posted them on Twitter. If you don't have the time for the videos, just follow me there. We are at just 40 followers, so that's rookie numbers. Let's bring those up, please. And if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I do my best to give you daily content, and bye.